Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to the Pursuit 365 podcast with Real Estate and Finance Fridays with your host, Shelly, Smee. Today, I am joined by a dear friend, a business partner for 3.5 years now? We've been
Yeah,
working
essentially.
together,
Yeah,
Michael.
yeah.
Michael Buttery with the Integrity Real Estate Group. And Michael and I are going to have a little chat today so you can meet our other team members. Welcome, Michael. How are you today? It looks like you're at your home office there. Is that the ocean I see
Awesome.
in the background?
You do see a little bit of the ocean. It's pretty special, actually. I love it.
So
Yeah, no,
you have a very
I'm home
interesting
today.
relationship to the sea. You've spent a lot of time
Yeah,
actually on the ocean in your previous career.
that's true. Yeah, my background is hospitality management, hotels, and then transitioned to the cruise industry for a number of years, worked overseas, and then the yachting industry for a while.
Yachting. Is it anything like Below Deck?
No, no.
Have you ever watched that show?
Yeah, for 5 minutes, I think that was about it.
I know my sister and husband have been in the yachting
Yeah,
industry, and she can't even handle hearing that name of that show. She said it's just so wrong, and
exactly.
it's just so much a soap opera. And I mean, if people behaved like that on any yachts, you basically would get fired right away.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So
Isn't that
it's all made
interesting?
for TV. So, from your background in hospitality, one of the things I know about Michael is he is a stickler for details. We often, I'm the fly by the seat of your pants, just get it done kind of gal,
Yeah, exactly.
with, a stickler for things like compliance and the rules, because those are just in my head and I know that. But, Michael, can you give our audience, which hopefully is
Yeah.
some of our clients too, a little bit of an idea of how your approach and your meticulous attention to detail, how you feel that transitioned into your real estate business.
Sure, sure, sure. And like you said, to the um, connection we have and, some of the differences we have that we bring to the table for the team, I just want to say too, and I should say to begin with that we do. Most know that we have our small team, intimate team, and our other partner, one of our other partners, team member Noma. We're super proud and excited that you've got this up and running, this podcast and
You know me,
information,
any
everything.
chance to get in front of the camera, I'm such a
we
hey, how's it going?
This is
But
great. Yeah,
I
we're
think
super
it's
proud.
really important in this kind of social media environment that we're in. We have the opportunity to really help educate people, educate our clients, have different platforms to, my mission with this podcast is to help demystify real estate and finance for not just our clients, but for the public in general. There's so many misconceptions and mystery, I guess you could call it, where we don't want to be secret agents. We want to be agents that are transparent, and we chose the name Integrity for our team.
Very proud of what we have. Yeah.
So it's, I think we connected at first almost 20 years ago based on values. I think that's a lot of the time how clients end up choosing to work with whoever they work with is you've got to have an alignment in values. And, I think also clients can become friends. I mean, this is a
Exactly.
long-term relationship building. We're not just transactional realtors. Do you want to speak to that for a little bit? Because I know
Exactly.
in your database, you have a lot of repeat and return investor clients and other clients that have been with you from almost day one.
Exactly. And I agree. And that's probably what I enjoy the most of our business. And, we've been talking for many, many years about building this team and that we finally put it together. And what I enjoy the most is still, it's basically the client relationships. And that whole aha moment when you've got the experience and sometimes you have to hold their hand, and it happens from a first time buyer realizing they can own a property and fall in love with their first purchase, and they have that aha moment to there's a lot of moving parts in a real estate transaction, as and sometimes it's quite complex, and you can get to a very seasoned client that you've known for a long time, and we could be in the middle of a very complicated transaction for them with lots of moving parts, buying and selling, and schools and families, and maybe from out of province, out of country. And they have an aha moment again, many years later, when it's like, wow, this all could come together. I think that's probably what I really enjoy the most in those relationships.
Definitely. Well, I had one of those yesterday.
Yeah,
You
we have
know,
a busy week
I had
unfold.
I had relocated, helped this couple relocate from Alberta, I think 8 or 9 years ago. They were, newly married. She had just started in the medical field. He was, recruited here by a company, and although I don't do as much corporate relocation as I used to in the
Yeah,
past, because that landscape's really changed from the corporate side of things of how they actually don't really help people the
right,
way they used
right.
to. It's
Yeah,
like, "Oh, come for the mountains, come for the skiing, come for the lifestyle," and,
yeah.
you know, "Oh, by the
Good
way,
luck.
we're gonna pay you 10% less than you get paid in, Toronto, but you'll get to ski and go golfing in the same day and maybe even go for a sail." So, the whole relocation environment's really changed, but, you know, 8 years later,
That's a
they
perfect
got their
example.
dream house yesterday in a competing
I
offer,
know.
and, their dad came out from Alberta. He just sold his house, and, that family is reuniting as a family with the older brother is gonna live in the suite, and grandpa's going to, live in the house and help take care of the kids, and after 5 years of being a stay-at-home dad, he's going back to work because his wife's been, went through med school and is
Wow.
now a very busy surgeon. So, like, being with clients through their you're kind of like a embedded correspondent for a little while in their
Yeah.
lives, and, you know, we get privy to a lot of family drama too.
Sure,
So,
for sure. And that's
I
a
love
perfect
the fact
example. Yeah.
that, you're very calm. I think you have a calming effect on a lot of people.
Yeah, because it can be a very stressful situation. And now this amazing family, this is really wonderful that that all came together. And it did because of experience and expertise and their trust. And they had their aha moment that, wow, we're going to do this and we're going to get into this great family home and together. And it's amazing to see that unfold. I love that.
So, can you
Congrats.
speak to what you feel are some of the challenges in today's market? Because you read a lot of the newsletters and a lot of the industry things that are coming out right now. What would what's your take on the market? I know a lot of realtors who haven't actually been in this business for more than about 5 years are a little bit freaking out because
Mhm.
um, they've never seen this
Exactly.
kind of changing market. So what's your take on it, Mr. Data and
And stay calm, stay calm. Yeah, no, it's the perception that's out there. And people have access to so much information and it's thrown at them from all these different angles and avenues. And there's a lot of moving parts when it comes to a transaction. And it's not black and white for some people. And they need to just speak to an agent to help calm the situation and give them the real information. It's interesting. We have a number of clients too, and they call and they're excited and they want to buy, but they read that they should wait or they read that the rates are going to come down. If you're going after a property and you're getting educated with the market at the time, there's opportunities out there. We have inventory right now for the first time in a long time
For first
Now's a
time,
great
it feels
time.
like in almost 15 years, really.
Yeah,
Since
yeah.
2008. It
Mm-hmm.
feels like we actually have, like, inventory
That's
that's
true.
sticking around. So, with that in mind, what kind of expectations should sellers have? Or maybe those transitional transactions where you're going to need to sell to buy and
Exactly.
not knowing how the market's going to respond. I mean, what are we telling our sellers right now? We need to reset expectation, I think, right now of
Yeah.
how the market's changed in the last 6 months.
And right from the beginning. And like you said, and that's also a big part of what we do, the integrity team. We love to have that conversation with clients and help set expectations straight away. And for the most part, they're reasonable. Everyone's quite reasonable. And if they're on a mission and they want to sell and buy or upsize or downsize or get back into the country, um, we see it all the time. And like you said, we just have to be very clear up front and set them up for success. And it's all doable. And it's not a matter of just taking the odd photo and writing a couple words. There's a lot that needs to happen behind the scenes. And I think our clients really appreciate that.
Yeah, you know, I really, really appreciate having Michael and Noma to kind of bring me a little bit down to earth because I'm kind of like, oh, we're gonna get $100 worth of plants, and we're gonna do this, and we're gonna do that. Because I
Yeah.
love the staging and I love the presentation aspect of it.
Mhm.
But this is also a business, and I Michael is the person in our team that keeps track of our expenses and does more of the financial analysis. And, everybody thinks realtors are just rolling in money. And certainly in the good times, it can be very good. But there's a lot of expenses, especially on the listing side.
Yeah,
And, we are tasked with getting the best price or the best deal together. Sometimes it's not price, sometimes it's other things. But we're tasked
exactly.
with maximizing value, however that looks. Um, but as days in market increase, we have to be creative. And, I'm seeing out there that the days of just slapping up a sign, having an open house, and it being gone the next weekend are far and few between. I mean, it still happens, but what's your opinion on the
Mhm.
underlist and the what they're calling the what we call the delayed offer strategy with the setting the dates for offer? What's your opinion
Yeah.
on that strategy in this point in the market?
Well, and definitely, and like you said, that speaks to the strategy right from the beginning. And sometimes it's not the price, sometimes it's timing. And sometimes time is money for a family that want to be settled in their favorite school neighborhood for the kids in a certain amount of time. And yeah, if the client needs a particular number and they want to wait, then that's a strategy, not necessarily a great one. But it's about pricing it for serious action, and especially if it's a time constraint. Um, we are seeing it depending on where it is again already with delayed offer presentations. And a lot of that is because sellers literally are, or the buyers, everyone's in a schedule or it's summer vacation and they just literally can't look at the offer. And we have to educate the buyer that that's not necessarily to get top dollar. It's really logistics, and they want to get enough people through and line up the right dates. And we saw it happen with your deal coming together yesterday. Um,
Hmm.
a very, very
Yeah,
busy
the date
listing.
flexibility was very
Yeah,
important to the seller. And luckily, our buyers were still renting, so they could provide that flexibility. And I mean, it's it's often just not the price. And
no,
it comes down to, the fact that people have different reasons for doing different things at different times in their life. And, family life cycles or personal life cycles, depending on where you are at your stage of life, um, really do come into this. real estate life cycle.
Hmm.
Um,
And that's part of
when
the
do you
strategy.
look at, when you have somebody, because I know this is a fair amount to your client base, when you have people come to you and you say, Michael, we've got some good equity now, or we just got a bonus, or we just cashed out, some shares or whatever, we want to buy an investment property. With all of the stuff that's happening with the Residential Tenancy Act and the Airbnb stuff, like, do you still think it's a good time to invest?
I I always think it's a good time to invest.
I knew you were going to say that.
But you can be very, very strategic and you can be picky right now. And you look very closely at where the transit is going and where the new campuses are going. And we have a listing right now that is pretty much all investors that are looking at it. Um,
Hmm.
First time buyers don't necessarily, they are getting a little more picky too. But um, yeah, there's always, especially right now, there's some definite opportunities still to invest, and it's a bit scary. And if you can handle the landscape of being a landlord or handing it over to a property management company, um, then for sure, this is always Vancouver is always going to be on the map, the world
Right.
map for you know people moving here and investing. But you got to be careful. There's a lot of rules and even with landlord, the Tenancy Act, and you just have to stay on top of that.
Yes, I this Friday, or last Friday, I guess, when this one airs, I had one of the top lawyers in that space on the podcast, and she gave a lot of great information. Um, and it is still one of the best investments that you can have long term. And I think one of the things that I've noticed about maybe a shift in the investor focused market is,
Mhm.
I think personally, where some of the pre-sale marketing teams are missing the boat a bit, is it's not necessarily about um, offshore or foreign, because they can't do that anymore. But
Right.
how would you say, because the future pricing thing is very confusing to a lot of people. They're like,
Mhm.
why would I pay X amount of dollars for this condo that's not going to be ready for 3 or 4 years, that seems like it's more expensive than some of the resale product? What do you think some of the benefits are still of buying pre-sale in particular developments?
Yeah,
Or do
very
you
good
think
question.
that it or do you think that that boat's kind of sailed until the environment changes a bit?
I mean, I've been involved myself, family,
Mhm.
friends with many, many pre-sale projects. And yeah, to say that that boat has sailed, I mean, those days of sleeping on the streets for a week for a pre-sale launch, we don't see that at all anymore.
No, or
And
having those big, huge, lavish parties for the
exactly,
realtors. Yeah, the launch parties. No.
clients and us as well are very, very particular about about pre-sale launches, and we can dial in really quick and look at the floor plans and look at where they're positioned, and you can pretty much get on board with any project if all those boxes check off. There's so much opportunity right now, and there's lots to choose from. You can really pick and choose, and it has to be the right layout, the right corner. Otherwise, yeah, if you got lots of money, you just want it in all kinds of different pockets, then yeah,
Divesting your portfolio in
buy and
different
sell it
areas.
all of them. Yeah,
So
yeah.
you've said something that I don't think people really comprehend. When you go to a pre-sale, there are definitely going to be better units and less desirable units. And how do you evaluate a building and evaluate future value to a certain level or floor plan or amenities package, or like, how, when you're looking at, because I know you still sort of track it pretty carefully,
Mhm.
how do you assess what's the right units to buy? Like, how do you do that? Because
You know,
I haven't worked really in a pre-sale environment at all
yeah, yeah,
through my career, except for when I bought my own.
yeah, exactly. And because of our experience now and lots of resale and the challenges, you flip it. We already know what challenges are for a resale product, and um, you can't change the particular linear kitchen, or nowadays with the different lifestyles, you have to have a dedicated workspace. So you can go into a pre-sale and the clients, I want them to get all excited and shiny and new and touch and feel and um, fall in love with the product, and then we educate them and dial into the particular floor plans that are going to make the most sense. So you always have something a little extra, either a little bit more wiggle room in pricing because you got in super early, or that particular floor plan we know will sell. There are buyers, they just want to get into that building. They just want that location. So they'll just buy any old unit, which is fine. It works for them. But from an investment standpoint, if you're really thinking long term and outside the box, that's where we really have to take them by the hand and walk through the project. I love that.
Right, right,
Yeah.
right. And certainly the transit oriented development in every municipality is
Right
just,
now, yeah, it's
it's still
unbelievable.
going full throttle.
Yeah.
I drove out to Langley a couple weeks ago to go to the Grandview Pool in Surrey. I kind of went out the Langley way, and I almost got, I mean, I was on the main highways that I knew where I was going, but
Yeah.
it just seems it doesn't matter which municipality or where you're going. There is just still so much new construction happening, and yet we're still in this sort of housing crisis. Um, I know in Vancouver, well, I won't say I know 100% because it's, we're getting to the end of June and all the municipalities are supposed to have their revised
That's right.
unit, um,
Yeah.
FSR for a single family lot. They're all have to submit a new plan. Um, do you think it's really going to change much? Because some of the builders and developers that I've talked to that work in the duplex environment and have been building duplexes are
Hmm.
saying,
Hmm.
well, you still, if you put 4 units on, you still need 4 kitchens and 9 bathrooms
That's
and or 10 bathrooms, and the extra the extra cost to build out, is that going to help pricing it or units at all? Or are we just going to end up with these little micro townhouses or half duplexes or fourplexes on single family lots that have bedrooms that are 9 by 9? I mean, like,
yeah.
that's crazy to me. It's
I
crazy
know.
to me that they're going to, you know, that this could possibly be the correct way to go. What are you anticipating, sort of through July as some of these municipalities release their provincial mandated changes in their FSRs?
It's going to be very interesting to see. And like you said, I mean, it's definitely needed. It's probably, it'll boil down to particular floor plans and layouts and neighborhoods that young families want to get into. We have clients right now waiting for these announcements. They've got lots and they're waiting to build, but they don't want to jump the gun and do the wrong floor plan. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's going to cost more. You're putting in 4 kitchens, but um, hopefully these floor plans are still going to be manageable and workable. And
Yeah, I don't think the average consumer really comprehends how much change in every facet of our industry as professionals we have to keep up with.
mhm,
Between the regulatory changes, our professional development, courses that we do, um, the Residential Tenancy Act, things you need to know from municipality to municipality about building codes and what can be done. What do you find? What's your real estate nerd jam? Like, what's your favorite thing to nerd out on?
uh, I love the clients will, ask us to research or they're about to build. So to give them the proper layouts, or like for example building these duplexes right now, we've got a portfolio now of floor plans that make the most sense for resale. And so I nerd out on that, exploring anything new, and then you know, it's a winner or it's not a winner. And
Right.
being very upfront with the client and sharing that with them is like, wow, I didn't even think of that. Didn't even cross
Yeah.
my mind that, that particular kitchen is difficult for a family. And you know what? We have clients move in and they go, oh my God, what did we do? It's like,
Yeah.
so we
Yeah.
know that's not going to work. Sometimes it's just what can be built.
Right. So, with that in mind, I'm just going to make a ridiculous comment because, okay, the family that just got their house yesterday and offer day, because
Yes.
Tuesdays. Let's explain to the people why Tuesdays or Mondays are the offer days now in most
Uh,
places.
well, we
Res-
have that
the
rescission period.
rescission.
The rescission period is done before the weekend.
That's right.
Everyone has 2 days, regardless. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. So that's a
So,
good strategy for the
anyways,
seller.
last 3 weeks we're looking for 3 or 4 weeks. I think we were at it hard every weekend. We were out
Hmm.
looking at properties. There was this one place they said we would have loved to have made an offer, and it was a brand new build, sort of in the, I won't say what street it is, but in the sort of Fraser Hood area. A brand new build, beautiful house, um, double garage, beautiful suite, 3 levels.
Lovely.
They loved it. When we walked outside, they looked up at the house and you could see the back of the washer and dryer in a window.
What? Oh, that's a new
Yeah.
one for me. Oh
So
no.
they'd put a window in and then somehow through construction had figured out the only place the dryer could go on the second level, no, the third level, was in that space.
Oh man.
But it was a closet that had a window in it, or an area that had a window in it. And they didn't even bother like putting a film on, or, getting,
Yeah, yeah,
getting, getting a sandblasted or kind of window. You could
yes.
see like the hookups and the
From the
venting
street.
for the stacker from outside on the sidewalk. And my client's like, oh man, I just can't unsee that. I
Oh
don't want to
no.
I don't want to be say, oh yeah, I'm spending, X number of over $1 million and something dollars on this brand new build, and we're the house where you can see the washer and dryer.
Oh, that's too
Oh
bad.
yeah,
Oh
just
my
park in
gosh.
front. We're the house you can see the washer and
Oh,
dryer on the third level.
no wonder they walked away.
Right?
Oh
And
no.
that's just like, to me, that's like, you see a lot of these new builds, they're kind of slam dunks. Like, they
Mhm.
obviously took the same plan and just put
Yeah,
some different finishings because they know that they can get permits quickly because that plan is sort of one of the approved plans.
yeah.
But how can you not like know that you're going to have a washer and dryer in a window, the back of it facing out to the street? I don't know. I'm still stupefied by that. So the
That was a
quality
that
of
was a
builder.
strange miss. And that's when I like to get involved. Yeah. That's when it's great to get involved with the builder and the client straight away. And it's like, okay, we're gonna run this by you because you might have to sell this.
Hmm.
And or promote it to the new buyer. Can this be done? And then hopefully things like that get caught.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that was a good one. Listen, I know you got to run
Thank
soon.
you.
I really am glad that people got a chance to meet Michael Buttery and get to know him a little bit better.
My
We
pleasure.
are the Integrity Group, the
We're so
Integrity
excited for you. Yeah.
Real Estate Group. So please like and follow. If you have any questions for us, feel free to reach out. Our phone number on the podcast there is our info number. We promise we'll get back to you right away, or just pop us an email. Thanks for
Brilliant.
watching today. And Michael, you have a great day out there.
Thanks. You as well. I'll talk to you soon. I'll see you
You
soon.
bet. Take care.
Ciao.
Bye.
Bye.